It is by will alone that I set my mind in motion. It is by the juice of Java that thoughts acquire speed, that the lips acquire stain, the stains become a warning. It is by will alone I set my mind in motion.
Oh Lord, give me coffee to accept the things I cannot change, the extra espresso shot to change the things I can, and one more cup so I can tell the difference. Grande.
Hail, coffee full of cream, caffeine is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst the beverages, and blessed is the result of thy consumption, wakefulness. Holy coffee, color of mud, be there for us workers, now at the hour of our commute, so must it brew.
Caffeine is my shepherd, I shall not doze. It maketh me to wake in green pastures. It leadeth me beyond the sleeping masses. It restoreth my buzz. It leadeth me into a path of consciousness for its name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of addiction, I fear no equal, for thou art with me. Thy cream and thy sugar, they comfort me. Thou preparest a carafe before me in the presence of Juan Valdez. Thou anointest my day with pep, my mug runneth over. Surely richness and taste shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Duncan forever.
Good morning, Planet Flipside. How about you this morning? We saved you a seat. May your coffee cup runneth over, and may your day be magical.
Good morning, all you beautiful cats and kittens out there in YouTube land. Welcome to Planet Flipside. This is the Coffeehouse, and I'm Vixen Littlepaw. We have, first up, Cherry Bomb Pop. How you doing, lady?
Still can't hear out of my right ear.
Am I not liking this? You're going to get it looked at?
Yeah, I just have to figure out when.
Okay. As long as you promise to figure it out.
Yes, we've got the 3 shows today. We've got 3 shows tomorrow. I might get it done Tuesday.
All right. You can miss a show for this if you need to. I give you permission.
I'm not missing my show, and I'm not missing...
You're worse than I am! Oh, my God!
And I can't miss the... It's probably going to have to be... Mel's out, so I can't miss Bitches with Switches tonight.
April, you can come up on the table too, baby.
Yeah, come on up. That's why we put the links in the Discords, guys.
Hey, look,
it's Jimmy!
All-powerful Sky Jimmy!
Not this morning.
Not this morning. I turned in my power for an extra 15 minutes of sleep. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I really did.
All emergencies can only happen on Tuesdays. I swear.
Legitimately, like, between our film schedule, like, I can't do anything unless it's on a Tuesday.
We don't have time for this shit.
No. Because, okay, so I've got to be on the RPG Tavern tonight. I can't miss Bitches with Switches because Mel's out. I've got a makeup table tomorrow. And then we've got, I don't know what we're going to do about Animal Crossing tomorrow, unless Vixie's hosting.
I got it.
Okay. And then I've got Cherry Rants tomorrow night, dude. Like, seriously, I'm...
Yeah. She acts like she can't take a time off. Yeah.
Lady.
Yeah. I'm not that bad.
Lady. I never said you were that bad. It's me. And the thing is like, I know they're not completely ruptured. The way that they look is they're like on the verge of rupturing.
They want to be.
Right. I mean, there's definitely indentures in the eardrum. There's definitely swelling. There's definitely irritation. But at the same time, like, I'm like, nah, it'll be fine in a few days. I just won't hear out of one ear for a few weeks. Whatever.
All right. We have the badass Brentley today. Yay, Brentley!
What? I'm new here. Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Look at this. How are you?
I'm tired.
Me too.
I woke up at an inappropriate time naturally. Yay, circadian rhythms.
Yay. I do that too. I was up and down all night last night. I don't know what the heck was going on. But It happens.
Get back!
We also have the infamous hubby today.
We have a hubby?
We have a
We
hubby.
have a hubby, guys.
We'll see how long. See, with the up and down all night, our two oldest decided to sleep now.
Yeah. I'm out in the living room, and our youngest is actually watching TV on the headphones. So we got silence. So actually, I can be on.
For now, anyway. We don't know how long this will
moments that you've just got to cherish when it's just pure silence. And it's just great. I had one of those moments all night last night because my teenager decided he was going to go stay with a friend last night. I had no trucker. I had no kid. Oh, man. I watched a lot of Gold Rush.
Did you? Was it good?
I mean, it's 11 seasons in at this point, so yeah.
I watched the first episode of Hawkeye last night.
I've watched both episodes already.
I haven't watched the second one yet. I already
the second one's better than the first one, but I'm like, they're dragging this the fuck out already. They should have just made it a movie.
Oh yeah, but
It allows for some more
Pardon me.
Bless you.
Do what?
It allows for some world building.
It does. It does. But there's already like fuck ups in the timeline.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, they're
like, good at that.
That's the fuck ups in the timeline started with Spider-Man Homecoming when it was like when they're over here saying, "Oh well, this is happening 8 years after the Battle of New York," and this was done in like 5 years after in 2017, which the next year was so if it was actually happening 8 years after the Battle of New York, it would have happened in the middle of the blip.
Right. Well,
and Spider-Man was dead.
I never really got into the Spider-Man aspect of the MCU just because Spider-Man really never interested me. So I haven't seen any of the newer Spider-Mans. On top of that, when I watch them, I get vertigo really bad. Yeah. However, I will give this away. The reason why I caught on to the fuck up is because we all know that Hawkeye is the Ronin in the Blade.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they come out with
that into play. Well, when they do that, there's a scene and this chick is talking to Hawkeye and she's like, "So are we going to go to the Avengers Tower?" And he's like, "No, Tony sold that years ago." Tony's already dead at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming. That's when he sold it.
Yeah. He sold it.
But
so that's
okay,
right.
I understand that.
So you missed the season. You missed the movie where he sold it. That's what's going on.
Right. But the thing is, it's like, okay, so Tony sold it a few years ago, but a few years ago was in the middle of the blip when Spider-Man wasn't supposed to be around because, he was Thanos. And Tony,
like I said, the time continuity thing has been a problem ever since they decided that the Homecoming happened at the beginning of Homecoming. They said it was 8 years after the Battle of New York, and they couldn't have been.
Right.
And this is what happens when you mess with timeline stuff. Everything gets out of whack.
Yeah. And of course they can turn around and they can say, "Oh, they can use Doctor Strange and they can warp the timeline or whatever." But if you're gonna try to stick semi to the comics, at least keep your fucking timeline straight. That's my whole point.
Well, the thing is, some of the stuff has been in service of some of the actors, like the kids who are playing Hawkeye's kids are the same ones that were playing Hawkeye's kids in Civil War. Unfortunately,
right.
Even with the skip over of the fact that this is in 2024, even with the stuff, the kid, the youngest kid was born in 2015. He was a baby in
So he should only be theoretically.
He should be 4 years old, and the kid is 10 years old.
Yeah.
I have big feelings about Hawkeye's kids and that whole secret family thing.
I want to know when he married Thelma. Like, I understand she's in the movies, but when the fuck did he marry Thelma?
Right.
I have very strong feelings about Professor Hulk. I was not impressed.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
Matt.
no,
I
that was some
I was
bullshit.
watching the I was reading the Hulk when Doc Samson actually called Professor Hulk to come into being
Mhm.
in the comic, and he was not nearly as nerdy in the comic. He was very much he was very much
He was Hulk.
he was smart. He was smart, but he
Right.
wasn't as angry and stuff. But he was still had a quick temper. I mean, there was stuff that was going on where he was still just
Reminded me of House.
Yeah, and that was the cool thing about Professor Hulk was it was literally a blend of both personalities. So he wasn't like scared, timid Banner, but he was more confident Banner. But what got me was his regeneration factor was non-existent in that movie. Like when he
I
snaps
forgot
and his
about
whole
that.
arm is just
Well-
charred, I was like, that would have stayed that way for minutes at most.
It depends on exactly how the damage was done, and considering that some of that stuff had to do with the reality stone as well as those stones.
That's true.
That could be a cost that was just something that
Yeah, we
I
still
didn't
get
think
the
of that.
Infinity Gems
Also, his
in
regeneration.
play.
Also, his regeneration is not as established
It's-
in the MCU as it is in.
Yeah, it's true, but in the comics, it is the fastest regeneration there is. Even Wolverine and Deadpool pale in comparison.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, why is his arm still messed up days after the encounter? That thing should have been fixed.
Because he's not necessarily in the comics. In the comics, the Hulk is more or less immortal.
Right.
In the MCU, he's not necessarily. There's a lot,
Well,
there's always a lot of changes
If
in the
fucking
movies.
Disney keeps fucking Marvel up,
Support
then I'm just gonna have to go over to HBO Max and watch all the DC shit.
DC makes some good animated movies. Like DC is not afraid to go dark,
No,
and that's what I love about
and
them.
the directors that they're using on DC's side, dude, I'm shook.
I think we have to take the key word here: animated. The animated ones are good.
Well, okay,
They need
so-
a little help with the writers of the
live actions.
the
Yes,
live
but the
action
thing
ones.
is the directors that they're using for the live actions, like they use J.J. Abrams. Sorry,
JJ's not one of my faves.
Well, and the thing is he doesn't have to be, but when he remastered the original, not remastered. When he directed the remakes of the newer Star Treks, the aesthetics in that movie
Oh, I love the new
were
Star Trek. You're not getting
fucking
me wrong on
mind
that.
blowing. And he turned around and he tried to do the same thing with Star Wars when he did the last.
Brent dropped
Still
something.
alive.
That's why I'm
Awakens.
laughing.
I dropped my beard brush, and it
Yeah,
probably went in
yeah.
the trash can. Carry on, please.
What?
What?
We
beard
had this
Was
Sorry,
that
what?
four-hair brush for his beard, and he dropped it, and it probably went in the trash can.
So it's like no big deal. I mean, keep going. I was listening.
Justin left his at home.
Is that a wood comb? I love wood
It
combs.
is. It is. Now when he redid the last Star, or when he did the last Star Wars, they weren't as aesthetically pleasing, but they still had an aesthetic to them. And
I want to know who directed Solo then.
It was me. I'm sorry.
It was you. You did it. Actually, I love that movie.
It was a good movie.
It was
It really was
I'm
good.
impressed. I'm like, damn, I really like this movie.
It was Ron Howard.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
that was Ron Howard.
Oh, see, that's why.
I
Whoops.
wish they would go a little bit deeper into the
Sorry about
Han
that.
and Chewie story.
My elbow hit my.
Yeah,
But,
that would have been
I mean,
amazing.
Right.
They still have room for that. They can do a second movie,
Right.
and I'm all about
Yeah,
it. I say we write
absolutely.
letters.
With all the gaps in years between movies, there's plenty of time for some
Oh,
side
yeah.
adventures.
You know, the
It's
other
like-
one, Rogue One, Rogue One, I thought, oh, this might be fun. We all know what the story of Rogue One was. You can infer what happened. I still cried.
Well, everybody wants to
Me
be
too.
I knew it was coming.
about the Skywalkers, and I'm like, it's not just about the fucking Skywalkers. There's a whole universe out there.
Yeah, the Skywalkers are a very small part of a bigger universe.
Yeah, but
and it did answer the question in the very first movie, how did they ever get the plans?
Yeah.
Because it's like, there's Leia, like, oh, I've got the plans of the Death Star. It's like, how?
She said that people died to get her those plans. That was in the very beginning.
That was in Return of the Jedi. They said the many Balkans died. That was in the Return of the Jedi.
Well, okay, so when they
people would have to die.
Out, that shit. They did it all fucked off because they did 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9.
Now I've heard a lot of stories about this. Actually, one of the stories that I tend to believe is that when Lucas really had the story mapped out, not complete, like with character development stuff, just the idea of the story, the highlights. And they looked at him and said, that is way too much shit to put into a movie.
And it's never going to fly.
It's never going to fly. So they said, you got to break it down. You got to decide what you want. And he decided the best way to break it down would to take that part from the middle.
But what? I can't do that. I can't, like, if I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch Star Wars, because I binge on them at least 6 times a year. Okay.
My brother used to watch them every day after school.
I have to start from the beginning. And I understand that the first 3 in the saga, when they made them, what the fuck? Like, that is, I'm talking about
New Hope or
the prequel to the original 3 that were set out.
1,
2, and 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phantom Menace, Clone Wars, all that.
Yes. When I can't. I have a hard time getting through them, and I can't watch the whole series without watching the first 3. And I struggle through the first 3 because it's like, okay, Anakin's a kid, Anakin's a teenager, and I'll get to that, doll. Give me just a second. Let me get this rant out. And then all of a sudden, Anakin is Darth Vader, and he's just the character the actor that they got to fucking play Anakin.
The kid actor was perfect, in my opinion. The kid actor
Oh, yeah.
was perfect.
Star Wars 2 and 3, he needed more work.
Yeah.
Like, he was great in Jumper.
Yes,
I love that movie, Jumper. Oh, my God.
Oh, I didn't think I'd ever find somebody who loved that movie.
Yeah, that's the best teleportation power.
Movie.
See, everyone's like, oh, I want to be like Nightcrawler. It's like he teleports 2 miles. Jumper Kid goes cross-planet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and he just has to think of it.
He's also
Whitey-ass McGee playing fucking Anakin
leaves a trail. I love that.
Yeah, the little jump scars. Yeah.
That is great shit.
But it's I have my own, and then Jar Jar fucking Binks. Everybody fucking hates Jar Jar, and I.
Wait! I gotta say something about my buddy Jar Jar. He may be as annoying as fuck, but they should have kept him being the Sith Lord. That
I was about to say that.
So much shit that happened to him.
Every little bit.
He should have been dead so many times, and the only way he could have is the Force saved his fucking ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I'd heard about the Lucas originally had the idea from copying the idea from Yoda from the beginning of Empire Strikes Back, where he was this goofy little guy, and then it turned out to be the Jedi Master. And so they was going to have the way I'd heard it was he introduced Jar Jar as he was just this klutzy guy who was doing this stuff. But like I said, he was over here. I mean, there's a point there where he took out 3 of the destroyer droids because he had the wires of a half of a
battle droid.
But
yeah,
a regular battle droid on foot, and he's kicking it, and that thing just happened to shoot up a couple droid decals, you know.
And of course, going from exile to Bombad General to Chancellor, and it's just like, wow, that was quite a leap.
Yeah. So he should
Ambassador, thank you.
He should have so been the Sith Lord. That would have made so much sense. Everything would have made so much more sense.
It would have really saved Jar Jar too. It would have,
Yeah, this is what happens when you fans out there start pissing and moaning about stuff you don't need to piss and moan about.
Just imagine the lightsaber fight with Jar Jar Binks, like Yusa about to get like cut up or something. Like, how funny would it be to have him monologue Sith style as Jar Jar Binks, and you guys robbed us of that.
He would have had a lightsaber in one hand and a lightsaber on one foot, and he would have been flipping all over the place.
Yeah,
you know, he would have been.
Everyone thought that Yoda fight with the Emperor was cool.
Yeah, really.
And the WhatsApp group chat.
My favorite Yoda fight was the one with against Dooku. The first time you saw him.
Like at this point, I'm gonna have to go get them checked out, but still have no hearing in the right. I'm gay. I have a little bit more hearing in my left than I did yesterday, but not a whole lot. So
it takes a while.
Yeah. And the research that I did shows that it could take weeks for me to actually regain hearing in my right ear. Yeah, which is fine. It's not a big deal for me. I don't have vertigo. I don't have any drainage. There's
These
no
are all
nausea.
2 good things.
3, because I'm not throwing up either.
3.
It looks like they were on the verge of rupturing had I not gotten earplugs out when I did.
Yeah, I agree.
And that camera,
I'm not a doctor, but I agree.
Right, and the camera that I used, it's not the greatest quality. So like, when I took the
you got a better picture than I would have just looking in there with a flashlight.
Right. But they are very swollen and agitated and irritated and pissed off. So.
And without the vertigo and the nausea, most likely you didn't do any damage to the inner ear, which was what I was really worried about.
Right, and I know for a fact I didn't do any damage to the inner ear for the simple fact that I don't have a screaming fucking migraine. And I was explaining to Justin last night
or a whistle in your hearing.
Right.
I'll be right back.
I was explaining to Justin last night that I know for a fact I didn't damage my inner ear, just because of the simple fact that I don't have a screaming migraine and I can actually walk. And I've had hearing problems since I was fucking born. So I'm surprised I wasn't able to actually see scar tissue on the actual eardrums because of all the devastation my ears have been through. So I said, I'm just going to be, a little bit louder than normal for the next couple of weeks. It's not going to be a big deal.
You're actually not. You're quieter than normal, just so you know.
And the thing is like, I can hear you, but like, I can't hear myself.
That's usually the way it works. That is normal. Absolutely normal. The one things we were talking about earlier before we all got on in the green. I'm gonna have to start screen recording the green room.
I'm telling you, it would make good content.
I'm gonna unmute you now, honey.
Okay.
So you're in charge of your mute button now.
I didn't realize background noise was really bad.
I'm gonna have to start recording it and start a Patreon for the channel. That way y'all can watch what's going on behind the scenes, because we have some pretty good discussions back there before the show.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about role player, the RPG Tavern is today, and Brent's so excited because he's gets to narrate what the orcs are feeling.
They have some strong feelings about some matters going on around Phandalin. It's fine.
Well, look, he's just gonna die, okay?
They'll have some stronger feelings about being on fire.
Yeah, I don't think they'll like that too much.
Brent's been so excited.
Yeah, I just like playing, the D&D with people who actually want to have fun. It's because awesome. When Polite and I first got into this hobby, we've had nothing but like bad group after bad group, and it's really just lowered our spirits.
Mostly just the first one. Our first ever D&D group was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, much like
that
me.
Can be rough. That can be rough.
Polite said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Assholes.
I'm trying. I'm working.
It's okay.
I had one game I was running. It was like, I want to say at the table there was 20 of them, and probably about half were new to D&D.
20 people.
Oh yeah, I've DM'd up to 30 at once.
How does that work?
I have to really pay attention to what's going on. And I'm
That's
also
crowd.
a little aggressive, so shut up for a second. I will get to you. As all with love. It's all about the love. And you have to also make sure that you're catering to everyone's needs at the same time, which I'm pretty good at. It's kind of like being a hostess. You have to work the room. You have to really work the room. And it takes practice.
The biggest game I've ever been in, there was like I think there was 12 people in the 12 people there playing. But we were playing it was a culmination of several different campaigns, so they were all together. So people were playing more than one character. So there was about 45 active NPCs available through these 12 people.
Wow.
The stories from that
crazy.
game are fun too.
I bet. The biggest group I'm gonna do is 6.
Marriages. Oh my god.
I won't do any more than 6. I mean, given what you guys are fighting, that initiative order will take hours to get through.
Yeah, this only went one session. It was mainly because it was a wedding, so there wasn't really a combat situation.
Yeah, they role played a wedding, and it was beautiful.
That's awesome.
I've heard tons of stories from all the different players, from lots of different players.
That is pretty cool.
So needless to say, hubby and I are really into role playing. I used to. I was a beta tester for White Wolf just before they came out with their Masquerade. And,
I've watched some of that with World of Darkness. That was actually really cool.
It's a fun. I focused on the LARPing. I had a hand in the development of the Gangrel vampires. So that was fun. I had nothing to do with the Tremere, so don't come at me. For any of you out there, that was not mine. I had nothing to do with it. And I also helped with Werewolf the Apocalypse.
So you're responsible for Eddie.
Yeah.
She did a look around like, sure, yeah, that sounds like something I did. Yeah, absolutely.
No, I know it was me. Just a little.
What?
So
in the ass.
So they actually made I think it was like a 6-episode show based.
It was a full season. It was supposed to go more seasons, but it got canceled.
Right. And one of the characters' name is Eddie, and he's a gangrel. And the funny thing is he's in so many. The man who plays him is in so many fucking so much shit. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
But the way that he portrayed his character was just straight up animalistic, and
he was straight out of the
one
book.
Character. Yeah, like he was. Anytime I see him, I'm like, oh look, it's Eddie.
Yeah, he's definitely that. That is him. That is his character. And the one guy that got to play the bourgeois, one of the main bourgeois, is the guy who plays all the demons in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I can't think of his name.
But Eddie's in Buffy too, by the way.
Yeah. I can't think of his name. He plays the one where they put the guy together. And she takes him out with a missile launcher.
What's that do?
What's that?
Adam?
Do?
Not Adam. Was it Adam?
No. That was pre-Adam.
The judge. The judge. The guy that put together the judge.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of that actor's name. The actor always plays really. He's prolific. That actor. But he's never been a star in anything. He's always
and then there
a supporting
was another
actor
from the show that showed up in Buffy, and he's the one who played. Remember when Willow gets all dark side and keeps going and seeing this dude, and she's just all floaty and shit. He was actually in the Vampire show as well, and it was actually called Vampire. It was just spelled differently.
It was spelled with a Y.
Yeah, and it's very hard.
That was a
to
weird
find.
show.
It was, but I mean,
little hot, but weird.
I think they need to reboot it.
Well, after True Blood.
Oh, fuck that show, dude. They fucked those books up so hard it's not even funny.
I never read the books, but they went places with it that nobody else ever did on TV, and I think they could pull some stuff out from other places.
I read the first 9 books in the series, and the first season stays pretty close to the first book. but they fucked it
Wanna
up
be
after
the
that. They went
Hey, well, we were
took all
playing-
their creative liberties.
When one of the things that they did right after the release of the second set of books for White Wolf, they started opening up basically bars to go play. There were White Wolf sanctioned bars to go play in, and I was invited to a whole bunch of them, which was cool because I didn't have to pay anything, and it was, I guess, pretty pricey to go do this stuff. It was like a convention every night,
Right?
And
Yeah, that sounds pretty pricey.
it was fun though. I mean, if I had the money at the time, I probably would have done it. I was in my 20s and doing whatever I felt like doing, and but some of these people would be so into what they were doing. You have to look at them and go, all right, you're in a timeout. You have to go home now. And then this one DM, I was sent to help. Their storyline was stagnant, and so I was sent to help their storyline. And I was a fairly powerful character, but they knew I wasn't going to abuse it. Could you go help them with their storyline, please? Sure, why not? I'm going to bring my gaggle of people with me, and we go in there, and they're like, so you're in a hurricane. I'm like, okay. You're in a hurricane. What do you do? I take my blood bags and I go in my basement and lock the door. Well, this hurricane is magical and might take years. So, it might take years. Immortal. I'll sleep.
I go to sleep. I take a fucking nap.
I'm like, you people don't get it, do you?
Just a quick little 75-year nap, you know?
No big deal.
Wake up, right as rain, you know, we're good.
Also, if it's magical, there should be a way to undo the magic.
And then let Schmear deal with that. They're the blood magic people. Let them deal with it. And that's not my fault. That's not my shtick. You want money? You want somebody dead? I got it. But magic shit, that's not my territory.
And Magic Hurricane, I'm gonna have a snack, I'm gonna take a nap, wake me up when it's over.
I got a 24-year-old over here. I'm good.
So
real healthy.
I heard a dirty little rumor that there's going to be another reboot on another comic that was made into movies. They're rebooting Blade.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't either.
Wesley Snipes really enveloped that character.
He really did, so I'm kind of indifferent on it as well.
I hated
they tried to make a show out of it.
I hated
and
the third movie.
Shut up! That's my favorite one.
The Pomeranian.
Oh, that was just because it had Ryan Reynolds.
What?
I think that's your favorite. Oh, Sherry is your favorite one. Sherry is your favorite one just because it had Ryan Reynolds in it.
It had Ryan Reynolds.
Actually, the funny thing was, when it first came out,
not wrong.
I was really into wrestling at that point, and I was like, "Oh, look, Triple H is making his acting debut," and like they tried to boost him up in the movie, and it was all great. And in comes Ryan Reynolds. I had never seen him act before. I didn't even know who the guy was, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this Hannibal King guy? He's a fucking dick. Why is he trying to beat up on my Triple H? This is bullshit." And then, I saw the new the reboot of Amityville Horror with Ryan Reynolds, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh.
You want a good Ryan Reynolds movie? Look up Van Wilder.
I've seen all the Van Wilders.
I love that one.
There's literally nothing in my eyes as far as Ryan Reynolds that can compare to the wood chopping scene in Amityville Horror. I'm just saying. It's the pajama pants. Anyway, so after that, I started. I had got to the point where I was watching Blade on a regular basis. So Hannibal King became a very intricate part of the movie, just because of his humor and his shtick to it. And then I found out, no, that was Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, and I was like, oh, okay, I can appreciate this.
There's one scene in Blade 3 I really did like, though, and it's with Triple H when they're fighting, and he's like, "You broke my arm," and then he snaps it back in place.
Yep.
I'm like, imagine just the mindset. It's like, I'm doing it. I'm fist fighting a vampire and winning. Did he just snap his arm back in place?
Oh, fuck, I'm dead.
Damn
the
it.
thing is,
What? Wait
if you
for the
listen
mind
to
fuck.
storyline-
Wait for it.
Right, and if you listen to the
Processing.
storyline,
Nope.
Hannibal King's character.
It's okay. It was an accident. I'll be accidentally pushed the wrong button.
Okay. But the Hannibal King character actually was a vampire, and like with Whistler, they brought Whistler back from being a vampire back into being a human. They did the same thing with Hannibal King, so it has happened more than once in that universe. So that's why he kind of gets agitated with what's her name when she's like, "I'm gonna bite you again."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Oh, Hannibal King would not make a good vampire."
Bad.
However, the funny thing is there's a guy from the first and second movie that they use as a supporting bad guy, and he's in another show. He's been in Sons of Anarchy, and he was also in a show called What We Do in the Shadows, which is a really horribly cheesy vampire show on Hulu. And if you have to suffer through that, I already have. So by all means, feel free and thank me later because
I have
it's
not
that
done
horrible.
it. I don't think
It
I
was so
you'll-
good.
No, fucking,
It was so
it
good.
was though. It really was. And this guy shows up, and he's on the vampire council or whatever, and he talks about he became a vampire because of Blade. It's just kind of funny. Yeah. That was the point. Sorry.
That was the point.
What I didn't understand about the Blade movies, it's like just the jump in villains. So the first one, you got Frost. He's like, I want to become a blood god. And everyone's like, okay. Right. The second one, it's like, we're scientifically engineering vampires to be like Blade. Okay. Third one, we bring back freaking Dracula.
Right.
And I'm like...
Well, the reason why they brought him back was because they needed his DNA so that they could make daywalkers.
I thought it was because the vampiric bloodline was thinning.
No,
and so they wanted to bring back
that was part
the
of
prime vampire.
That was part of it. But they were also
Here's the other
trying to figure
thing.
out how to make daywalkers. There's
Around
a whole
the
graphic
same
novel
time,
series, by the way.
There's a graphic novel series?
There's a graphic
to the
novel.
Amazon.
Yeah, there's a graphic novel series. But also,
that's what Blade was based off of. But also,
I don't think the third movie was part of it originally, but it is now. If you look at when the third movie came out, that's when all the rise and all the vampire stuff was going on. So it probably had something to do with that too. Anne Rice was a big.
I fucking can't stand her writing. The only good book she ever put out was Queen of the Damned.
I didn't like any of them. Y'all want to read some good vampire novel? Poppy Z. Bright wrote one called Lost Souls. Read it. The woman's fucking insane. She was a Facebook friend of mine when Facebook was new. That woman's insane. I love her. I'm like, holy shit, Poppy Z. Bright just followed me.
So
on
J.R.
Facebook.
Ward,
You should have seen me freak out for like a week.
J.R. Ward has written an entire series. Like, she has a whole ass universe, and it's called the Black Dagger Brotherhood. Like, there's offshoots of it. She's now got angels in it. Like, it's a whole ass world. And the thing is the reason why I like her writing so much is because she doesn't write like a female. She actually writes in character. She will tell you that the characters in this book embody her and write their own stories.
Mm-hmm.
And the characters' names are amazing. You got Wrath and Rage and Torment and Fury and Sadist, and it's I'm 9 books behind and I'm not happy about it, but
it's a lot of books.
Welcome to Planet Flipside, where we don't have time for anything.
But yes, there is a graphic novel for Blade. That's what the original movie was based off of. They did actually try to make a TV series out of it, and I
heard about that.
Yeah, it fell.
From what I understand, it wasn't that great. And the thing for me about Blade was when they cast Chris Christopherson, which is the guy who plays the original Whistler. It either needed to be him or Sam Elliott, but Chris Christopherson made fucking Whistler.
Yes, he did. And
Without
I agree
him,
with that for casting.
It would have been shit.
Yeah, Whistler was actually really good. He was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. Which he's supposed to be. You're supposed to. He's the father figure that you're supposed to.
I hear names and I have to find a face because sometimes names are just like okay, but if I see the face, I'm like,
oh,
yeah,
you'll know
I know who that
he's
is.
been in everything.
Yeah.
He usually plays a Texan marshal or something like that.
He's very typecast when it comes to his roles, and when they cast him as Whistler, it was very much different from a lot of the roles he's ever played.
Yeah, but he brought that martial cowboy feel to it. So
yeah, if you ever wanted someone to act like a vampire hunter, he did a great job.
Yeah.
Like from the very first time you see him on screen, you're like, yeah, this dude's like old school vampire hunting. Like he was born into the family, like some supernatural.
Well,
setting.
And they tried to continue that in the third movie after he died, and they brought in his daughter.
Right. But they floofed it too much. She should have been more.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But it was just
when they girlify shit.
The one that had like the earbuds and she did the bow stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, father, daughter. I don't
see
really
it.
seeing it. Oh, she makes a new playlist every time she goes for a hunt. I'm like, I figure sound is one of those things you would really want to hunt vampires.
Yeah.
I mean,
but she's like, no, I'll just put on my Spotify.
I would, but that's just me because I'm psychotic like that.
Yeah. I make all kinds of playlists all the time.
My whole life has a soundtrack.
If I was hunting vampires, I feel like I'd be hella paranoid.
I would be too. I'm with you.
Not gonna lie.
I'm thinking I have been a hunter. I was taught to hunt at a very young age. And I'm not talking about vampires, y'all. Just chill. Sit down.
Werewolves, we got it.
Yeah, werewolves, but
The
when
untold
to go
threat.
every now and then. But you need all your senses when you are hunting. And that includes hearing. Y'all are crazy because once you're hunting, it is very easy to become the hunted. That's not a joke.
You
that's
can
nature.
go from hunter to prey rather quickly depending on what you're hunting.
Especially Wendigos.
But we're not going to talk about the Wendigos, okay?
Wendigo.
It's like trying to fight a gin. It don't work.
Any of you who are watching Legends, that'll even get more funny if you actually think about it.
Supernatural.
I'm sorry,
won't allow me.
not Legends.
Do you want to see my key?
I do. I love it.
Isn't it cool?
It is
I made it.
cool.
That is very awesome.
I put a wooden dowel in it so it won't bend or anything.
Oh, cool.
So yeah,
That's a good idea.
And the eye is actually rainbow, but you can't really tell unless I
like
turn
it.
it.
Actually, it
Yeah.
looks iridescent.
Right? I love it. I was so excited. My mom got these eyes, and she's making like Kraken eyes, and I was like, I gotta make a mimic. It has to happen. And then I was like, do I make a chest? No, because I have. Where did it go? I have this little guy.
He's so cute.
A dice holder. And Brent got me that, but I was like, I don't need a chest. Hi, Myrtle.
Yeah, she made that. I'm like, you have no idea how bad I want to throw mimics at them on Sunday now.
Yeah.
I was like,
don't
I'm not touching any more chests because of that.
It's alright, not everything is a mimic. Just some
I don't
things.
care. As far as Mal is concerned, she's
And
never
some
gonna
of them
touch
will just
There's-
lick you. They're
there's
taste
a
testing,
great,
but they're just licking you.
There's a great comic called webcomic called Rusty and Company.
Yes.
Rusty is a rust monster. And there's a mimic that's also running around with them. And he's normally in the shape of a chest, and he talks and he's kind of laid back and stuff. But there's this point where they was going through a dungeon, and they came upon these two doors, and the whole well, this door is blah blah blah.
This will lead you to where you need to go, and this one is bum certain death
and all that stuff. But there, of course, the doors were mimics because the doors were talking. So so the other mimic comes up here, and all of a sudden he becomes the door beside them, and they're freaking out. It's like, wait a minute, am I the one who's lying? Am I the one who's? And they're like all freaking out and stuff. And the mimic goes, it's working. They're coming unhinged.
I love everything about that scene. Hinge, doors, I'm tracking. I see the
Brent,
funny.
You need to check out this comic, Brent. I think you'd love it.
I'll put a link.
I'm sure I would. I love comics.
Put a link in the RPG room, and
Oh, yeah.
get them on Creators Corner like now.
I'll try.
Do you love how demanding I am? Get him on there now. I don't know how hubby does it. He just says, "Dude, you want to do this?" And they're like, "Dude, sure." I'm like, "Dude, you're almost." Phil and Kaya Folio were on our show. I still am having trouble dealing with that. Every now and then, I'm like, Phil and Kaya Folio are like world renowned, and they were on our show.
And mimics are just so much fun to use, and especially with the new book that came out, Fizbin's Dragon Treasury or whatever it's called. They introduced new mimics.
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't seen the book yet.
The horde mimic.
I would love.
I love it.
If I thought there had been, if I had thought there had been a chance to play in your game, a PC mimic, I would have taken it.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Because what I would have had him done is I would have had him on a group of little on a little pedal powered group of feet that he can move around, so he could walk around like he's going around feet, and he'd just be imitating the luggage from
Discworld.
I like these segments on TikTok. I see if like real life, if we had mimics in real life, what they would disguise as. And right now, the growing thing is Amazon packages, because everyone's like, "Oh, sometimes I forget what I order," and there's a package on your door, and you go to pick it up, and it just attacks.
Yeah, that smiley face, all that's just enough to do.
So bad. Somebody said the other day I was watching. I can't remember if it was TikTok or here. I don't remember. It might have been Instagram. You never know. I get pulled into stuff all the time. But they're like, "Hey, you want to get rid of some stuff? Put it in an Amazon package and put it on your doorstep."
I saw that on TikTok.
I was like, "Oh my God, we have boxes, honey. We have boxes."
Oh, and Sherry, I was really hoping to get Goat with the mimic, not you. You just rushed to the chest first. I was like, "All right, Goat, come on. You've got the highest armor class. I made you an overpowered barbarian. I gotta get to you." And then you come up. It's like Mel touches the chest. I was like, "Damn it, Mel."
She'll fuck
All right,
you up
Mel.
every time. You gotta watch her and you gotta tell her, "Hey, don't touch that." You gotta watch it because she'll turn around and she'll do exactly what she's not told to do. Wait, you told me not to touch. Oh, I'm fucking touching it.
We touch it.
She's got to think about bodily fluids, and apparently you fed into that, and she's not happy.
I had a huge dungeon planned once. I mean, and when I say huge, this was going to take months to get through. And of course, my players find the secret exit door completely on accident and do the entire thing backwards.
Oh no.
Sounds about right.
They almost died more than once.
Right.
Especially that first. They went up against the big boss first. Almost all died. I was like, God damn it.
We had a habit of doing that in the game. There were like 3 different occasions where we decided to try to get into the thing from a side angle, because one of the characters had a flying carpet and a move through earth spell, so he could just take everyone straight through. So all of a sudden it's like oh, so we come in here and it's like, oh, that's a beholder.
Oh, I remember that. That was somebody else's game we were playing in. It was like, oh shit.
And this was the big boss of the dungeon, so we had to fight our way out from there. But we survived the beholder, so we were pretty confident in ourselves.
Yeah, like when Goat found that secret passage that led straight to Glassstaff, I was like, really? Come on, man. You got the jump on him? I haven't got to use the spellcaster against you guys yet, because here comes Cost, and Cost is like, aha, I'm the necromancer.
More than 30 seconds.
That guy dies the fastest. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Because some of us know that if there's a mage, you kill them.
Yeah, it's pretty common.
Like, if you don't kill them, you die.
I saw that you played this, Myrtle. I had this game in high school. It was the original the first time they put it out, my father thought it would be cool to get, and I was like, I thought, oh, this is dumb. It is not. This is how you get kids hooked to role-playing games. It's one of those. It's just kind of, it's great. You have to have more than 2 people, though. It's a gateway game. D&D's next. Myrtle, you'll be on the table sooner than you think.
And then you go into all the other TTRPGs, and then you're just like, what am I doing here?
Hey, next month I get the Power Rangers one, and I'm so excited for that one.
Yes.
I pre-ordered that like back in July or something.
In high school, we went through a whole bunch of them. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Stormbringer. Oh my god. Everything has a hit point. Even your fingers have hit points. Every weapon is, if you have a magical weapon, it's because it's imbued with a demon. It was so complex. It was fun to play, but it was so
every magical item had a demon attached to it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
The magic in that world.
It was just, but the building of anything in there was so complex. The only thing that I think is more complex, I don't know if it's more complex, but Rollmaster is another system. It takes 2 months to build a character and 2 rolls to kill it. You can actually kill a character before you ever play that game.
I mean, that's true in D&D as well. As polite.
Yeah.
Yeah, with our first run through of Dragons of Icespire Peak, we first session hopped out of the carts, went up to the orcs, and one of the orcs immediately slashed my fighter down, like first swing, and I was just like, Brett was so upset. He like turned to look at me like, I'm sorry. And I'm
this wasn't even part of the module.
Okay, we have 2 clerics.
This was like the session 0 of getting into Phandalin just because I haven't ran a combat encounter and I wanted to practice it. So I was like, all right, 2 orcs, not a big deal. Ran up, knocked her down. I was like, oh shit.
I got back up, and then we killed the 2 orcs, and I shot the 1 orc from 150 feet away or something like that. He had taken his action to dash, and he ran, and I was like, no, and he died.
No, I'm a stick thrower. Get off me. This is not the way it works. That is so cool. The other ones I've played Cyberpunk, Pathfinder. That's a lot of math. Just so y'all know.
We're playing Pathfinder with Jack the Void King now.
Yeah, that's an older one. That's one of the older ones. Champions, which is a superhero game. What I'm trying to think. What other ones? Star Wars. We played Star Wars. We have almost everything GURPS. If you have an idea for a game and you don't know what system to use GURPS.
Yeah, all the genres that she mentioned. I may not have played the games, but I played the genres in GURPS. One time, one of my favorite games we were playing, we had a group of diverse characters. And we were basically hopping from world to world, shutting off these portals so that they didn't all bleed into each other. So we had to go to these different worlds. Some of them were just hop in, hit the switch, and get the hell out. Others were involved. There was one in which the World of Darkness, which was super World of Darkness. There was no sunlight anymore. World of Darkness. Everything had just gone to shit, and we kind of had to deal with that. And we couldn't fix everything, but we were lucky to escape. But it's we were over here. We were driving around in a van. One point, this one chick who was a teenager who happened to who was a telepath. She was falling. She was falling, and the van was falling behind her. She managed to get out of the way, but not before the van took off her leg. She survived. We got through and stuff. The girl became a real badass. It's like, and I played like over the course of that, I played 3 different characters, and I'm sorry, I'm rambling.
It's okay.
Oh, you're fine.
You're good. It's interesting.
Because one of the things that I've was sort of a segue to something else that happens in my a lot of my games. My own personal headcanon. Most of the games I'm in, if there's any type of world jumping that happens, it becomes part of an overarching campaign in my head. I figure out exactly how stuff fits together and stuff. And I had this one character whose name was Zarshan. He was a wizard. Went through a bunch of stuff, became very powerful, and then through not really a fault of his own, became a god, along with the rest of the members of the party. Turned out they went back in time and became the major pantheon of their universe. In this world hopping campaign, which was set in a future Earth, a little bit post-apocalyptic, but with some supers as well. That was where the campaign started off. And one of the places that one of the people that we went, one of the characters I was playing was named Charlie. Charlie Mason, and he was a gadgeteer. And we got into this one world. He got really badly damaged, and he basically was able to rebuild his own body. So he had, so I put in all the various cyber enhancements and stuff, all biotech. So he was like, in great shape. But he was running through. There was a large battle that happened in the fantasy world going on that some of the characters in this game that Charlie's in initiated, and was like, they had this shit was going down and an apocalypse was about to happen. They called the gods of that world. So they're like saying, "Hey guys,
we need help.
Here." And divine intervention, they showed up. They're dealing with stuff. One of the other players in the game needed to ask this wizard god basically for some help on some stuff. Pulls him aside. It was Zarshan. Pulls him aside, and I originally stated that his in my original concept for him was his name was Charles Caridian Zarshan. He's talking with this girl. It's like, do I call you Zarshan or do I call? And I just offhandedly said, "I'll call me Charlie." And it hit me. This character that I'd been playing, this character Charlie that I'd started 15 years after I'd started playing Zarshan, because I never really had I started Zarshan as a wizard about 10th level, so I never really had his actual origin come up. It turns out I realized, holy shit, Zarshan is Charlie. So
yeah,
you're playing your own origin story.
That became playing this origin story for Zarshan, and there was the guy who was running the game, Cameron. He had a love for playing time travel stories, especially making them convoluted as hell. But he kept it.
He was really good at keeping track.
Yeah, rest his soul. I love the guy, but and, I want to kill him sometime. It's like because he loved making the stories, but he would also. I had another character named Gwyneth. She was a fighter. She was over here doing some stuff, and I figured I'd gone about as far as I needed to go with her. So I was ready. So we were fighting the big bad, and I was like, I'm going up against this guy. And I told him, it's like, I'm ready for her to die. This is going to be her great death scene.
She didn't die.
She didn't die, and it was his fault.
It was all his fault. She didn't die.
She is now the mother deity in that pantheon.
Wow.
Nice. My mom just sent me this picture. This is the stuff that she's making.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
If I turn it, I could send a picture to the Discord.
Yeah.
But she's actually doing really good with these eyeballs.
I
I'm
like it.
impressed. This is awesome.
All right, guys. We got to wrap it up because you all need to have lunch before your gaming session.
I've
Get
got to set
yourself
it up.
together.
It's gonna be fine. Don't worry.
It's going to be fine. It's all fine.
Look, I'm
it's all
only
going to be
It's just cold in
fine.
here. I had to shiver.
Pavlov Daddy DM over here. He's just automatically going to tell us it's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
It
you
is.
should
You
be
guys got
fine.
this. I mean, come on now. What's the worst that can happen?
Why would you say
Mel
that?
dying would not be
Turned
the
into a
worst
fucking
thing.
deity.
Wait, what?
Nothing. It's fine. It's all good.
All good. It's all good all the time. So in about an hour, everyone but me will be back for I'll be watching though. I'll be watching you. For the RPG Tavern. You should really, if you haven't seen it, you should get in there and watch it. It's great. And then later tonight at 8 p.m. we'll have Bitches with Switches Mario Kart version. So come on in and play. If you get here in time, you get to play. If you don't, you don't. There's only 12 seats, so get here. All right. So Jimmy, are you still with us, dude, or are we just looking at your picture going, "Oh, and he's cute"?
Look at Jimmy.
I think Jimmy checked out a while ago.
He's so cute.
All right, Jimmy, I'm taking you down. Oh, there you are.
Take me down. Take me down.
Say
sorry,
good night.
I had good night, good morning, good evening. Good
Love your face.
Thanks for being here today, love. All right. Polite, you got anything to say? You got anything to say for yourself?
Yeah. If it makes you happy, it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. Do what you want.
Yay, thank you, love. Brentley.
Oh, I didn't know I was next. Yeah. Bye.
Awesome. Hubby?
See you guys in an hour. Remember, paradise is exactly like where you are right now, only much, much better.
Oops.
Take me down, sorry.
I got the buttons. Cherry?
I'm trying to contemplate this whole paradise is exactly like where I'm at right now, but better.
Yeah. Surrealist music. I can introduce you to it if you like. It'll fuck with your head.
No, please. There's enough of me in my head that fucks with me enough already. Anyway, I will see you guys in about an hour. I got to go set up the table and try to tell myself that I'm not going to die 1,000 times before we actually play. So
you'll be fine.
You guys know what I'm going to say. You guys know what I'm always going to say. I do need to find the paperwork that I have for Cherry Rants because I have no idea what the fuck I'm supposed to rant about tomorrow. And if I can't find it, we're playing New Phone Who Dis.
Who Dis? There you go. It's your show. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
I know. I don't
so
know where I
cool.
set that paper. It's bugging.
I had a whole bunch of contingency plans for today. Thank you, Polite and Brent, for showing up because I really didn't know anyone was going to show up today.
Look, I may have ruptured my fucking eardrums. But I will be damned if I'm not going to be here. I don't care how much fucking pain I'm in.
I really didn't think you were going to be here. I was kind of hoping you get some sleep.
I did get some sleep, actually. I got a good 7 hours in, so I didn't get out.
Oh, wow.
Out of bed until an hour before we had to be on. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was laying in bed an hour before we had to be on.
My alarms were going off an hour and a half before, and I was like, it's 8:30. Fuck this. I'm going to sleep till 9. Then I had to get up, and I was like, oh, I got to take a shower. So
I feel it.
But anyway, I will see you guys here momentarily.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned. In just less than an hour, we'll be having the RPG Tavern. Have a great day.
It is by will alone that I set my mind in motion. It is by the juice of Java that thoughts acquire speed, that the lips acquire stain, the stains become a warning. It is by will alone I set my mind in motion.
Oh Lord, give me coffee to accept the things I cannot change, the extra espresso shot to change the things I can, and one more cup so I can tell the difference. Grande.
Hail, coffee full of cream, caffeine is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst the beverages, and blessed is the result of thy consumption, wakefulness. Holy coffee, color of mud, be there for us workers, now at the hour of our commute, so must it brew.
Caffeine is my shepherd, I shall not doze. It maketh me to wake in green pastures. It leadeth me beyond the sleeping masses. It restoreth my buzz. It leadeth me into a path of consciousness for its name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of addiction, I fear no equal, for thou art with me. Thy cream and thy sugar, they comfort me. Thou preparest a carafe before me in the presence of Juan Valdez. Thou anointest my day with pep, my mug runneth over. Surely richness and taste shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Duncan forever.
Good morning, Planet Flipside. How about you this morning? We saved you a seat. May your coffee cup runneth over, and may your day be magical.